Hey guys, so in this video, I'm going to teach you guys and explain what funding is, as well as how to hedge your money on specifically the exchanges Bybit.com and Femex.com. So first, when you create an account, I'm gonna start by showing you how to do that on Bybit. So once you go to Bybit.com, it'll look like this. You just go to the top right, you hit sign up, and then you click email. You put in whatever email you want to sign up with. You create a secure password, and then if you have a referral code, you put that in there. Now once you hit sign up, it's gonna send a code to your email, a 6-digit code to your email. You go to your email, check your inbox, and whatever the code is, you put it in here and hit register. Now once you hit register, you'll be logged in automatically, and in the top right you'll see the email that you logged in with. So the first thing we want to do is make your account more secure by adding two-factor authentication. So it is much harder for other people to log into account or for anyone else to log into your account unless they have the two-factor authentication code as well as your password. So in order to do that, you want to go to your top right, click on your email, and then click account and security. Now once you're here, your screen will look like this. This is the screen where you can change your password if you want to. You can see all the logins that's been done and the IP address of the logins. And then here, you go to Google Authentication. This is probably the best two-factor authentication there is. So you hit Settings, and then you hit Send Verification Code. So what this is going to do is going to send a code to your email. Again, you need to check your inbox, check the code, put the 6-digit code that is sent to your email into here, and then you're going to hit Confirm. So once that's done, you have 60 seconds to put in the code from your email into here. Once that's done, you hit confirm, and then your 2FA, it'll show you a code on your screen, and then it looks like this on your screen. So what Google Authenticator is, it's an app on your phone. So you download Google Authenticator on your phone, and once it's downloaded, you open it, and on the bottom right of the screen, you'll see a plus sign. You click that plus sign, and you can either enter the code it shows on the screen right here manually, or you can just hit scan a QR code. And what that does, it'll open your phone's camera, and you just put your phone's camera up to the QR code. Make sure it's visible on the screen, and then it'll automatically scan the QR code and put that code into your phone, so you don't need to enter it yourself manually. Once that's done, you'll get the Google Authenticator code on your phone. It'll show as a 6-digit code. So you put that in, and then you hit confirm. And that's it. Google Authentication is set. Now, every time you log in, you'll need to go to your phone, go to Google Authenticator, and put in that 6-digit code when it tells you to put it in. And that's it. That's set. Your account's more secure now. Now, how to deposit money and withdraw it from your account. So now here we go to assets on the top over here, or to get to assets, you can again hover over your email and click my assets. So first we need to deposit. So again, a QR code comes up on your screen, and I explained this in the last video, but basically this is the deposit address right here. You copy this, and wherever you're withdrawing from, whether that be BRD or CoinSquare or whatever you're withdrawing from, it'll ask you for the deposit address. This is what you put in that box to send it to Bybit. Or on BRD, you're able to scan the QR code. So on your BRD app, if you open it up, log in, go to Bitcoin, and click send. Beside two, it says scan. Once you do that, your camera will open up. You just scan the QR code. It'll automatically put in the deposit address, and you can send however much Bitcoin you want. So that's how you deposit. It'll take maybe 30 minutes a day, depending on what app you use. From where depends on where you're sending it from and what speed you choose that it sends. It might take 30 minutes, might take 10 minutes, might take a day, maybe longer, depending on what you choose. So that's how you deposit funds into your account. Now, how to withdraw funds. You hit withdraw right here on the right side. It'll ask you for the wallet address. So pretty much what I said before, but reverse. You get the deposit address from wherever you're depositing your Bitcoin to. If that's BRD, you go to your BRD app, log in, you hit Bitcoin, and then you hit receive, and it'll give you a deposit address. So you hit add on Bybit, and then you hit add again, and then you make sure BTC is selected. You put in, this is where you put in the deposit address that you got from BRD or wherever you're depositing your money to. You're going to be withdrawing from Bybit and depositing it to this address. So I'm gonna take my BRD code, put it in my BRD deposit address, put it in here, and then you can name it whatever. Like you can name it BRD, you can put your name here, whatever it may be. And then you hit confirm. Once you hit that, it'll be added here. And you just go back to my asset now. You hit withdraw again. And now that that's added, you can click this box right here and click the whatever you named that address. And then under amount, you put in whatever amount you want to withdraw from Bybit and deposit into the address. There's going to be a transaction fee of 0.0005. And yeah, that's it. And then you hit submit. It'll ask you for your Google 2FA, or it'll send you a code to your email. Whatever it asks you for. If it asks for your Google 2FA, you go to your Google Authenticator app. You put in the 6-digit code, and then once you do whatever it asks you to do, it'll send you an email to confirm. This is the final step when it comes to withdrawing your Bitcoin. You go to your email, and once you click the link in the email, your withdrawal will be confirmed, and it'll send the Bitcoin to wherever you want to send it to. This may take 30 minutes, may take an hour once you confirm it. Depends on when you do the withdrawal, what time of day. So now that's done, it's confirmed. You can always cancel it before it's sent. Under my assets, you go to withdrawal history, and over here it'll show you the withdrawal you just made. And under action or under status, you can click cancel if you want to cancel it. If you made a mistake in the deposit address or withdrawal address. By the way, when you're doing a deposit, you want to make sure the code you got. So if you're sending money from your BRD to your Bybit, you want to make sure this code on the screen, you put it exactly as it is. All the capitals are where it's supposed to be, the lowercase, the numbers. Double check, triple check, because you want to make sure this is correct, because you don't want to send your Bitcoin to the wrong address. Same thing with the withdrawal. You want to make sure the address is exactly as it shows, all the capitals, all the lowercase, um, all the numbers in the right order. You can always check that, and if something's wrong, you want to make sure you do that immediately, because once that Bitcoin is sent and it's done and it's processed, you can't get that Bitcoin. You can't cancel that if it's sent to the wrong address. But once you hit send and you confirm the withdrawal or whatever, you'll have maybe like an hour, 2 hours to cancel that. So over here, you can hit cancel and it'll cancel the withdrawal. But always double check, triple check that the deposit address is exactly as it says on the screen. So now once you have funds in your account, what you're able to do is now trade. So on the top over here, you want to hover over trade, go to inverse perpetual, and this number right here, it basically shows you what price Bitcoin is trading at on Bybit.com. So on Bybit, on this exchange, Bitcoin is going for this much, 19,167 US dollars. This price shown here is US dollars. So yeah, so what we're really gonna focus on, we're not gonna really worry about the chart or the numbers over here. This will probably just confuse you. So what we're gonna focus on is the right side over here, specifically this box, and then we're gonna focus on this top bar over here, and then this bottom box down here as well. So the first thing is funding. What is funding? Basically, funding is something the exchange put in to incentivize you to either long or short, depending on what number is shown here. So if a lot of people on the exchange are long, the exchange will want to incentivize you to short, because they want to have the ratio closer to 50-50. They want 50% of people being long, 50% of people being short. So they incentivize you to place either a long or short depending on the number there. If the number here is positive, which right now it is positive 0.0208. If it's positive, they're incentivizing shorts. So they want you to short. So when it's positive, longs pay shorts. What that means is if you place a short order and you are in a short position, um, you will get paid this percentage. So right now the funding just changed because every 8 hours you get paid funding. So you get paid funding 3 times a day, and the countdown is shown right here. So if it's positive and you're in a short position, you get paid this percentage. So the funding percentage now changed. It is now 0.01. That changes every 8 hours, right? So if you're in a short position, you get paid this amount. And if you are in a long position and it's positive, you have to pay that amount. But let's say that this number was negative, then shorts pay longs. So let's say this is negative 0.01. If you are in a short and this countdown timer hits 0, you will be paying 0.01% if this is negative funding. Right now it's not, it's positive, so if you're in a short you will get paid. But if it was negative and you were in a short, you would have to pay 0.01%. Whereas if you were in a long and this was negative, when this timer hits 0, you would get paid this percentage, 0.01%. So in simpler terms, if it's positive and you're in a short position, you get paid. If you're in a long position, you have to pay. If the funding is negative and you're in a long position, you get paid. If you're in a short position and funding is negative, you have to pay. So positive, longs pay shorts, negative, shorts pay longs. And and you can see right there the predicted rate and the countdown timer. So the funding rate right here, this doesn't change. This rate, you'll guaranteed get paid this rate when this timer is done, when it hits 0, if you're in a short position. But the predicted rate does change. It locks in 8 hours. So in 8 hours, whatever the predicted rate is, it'll lock in as the next funding rate. And in 15 hours, right there it says 15 hours and 57 minutes. So in 15 hours and 57 minutes, that would be the next funding rate, and you would get paid that percentage if you were short, because that number is positive. So now let's talk about orders. There are two types of orders: limit orders and market orders. And there's a fee associated with both. The difference is a market order, you're basically just buying or selling at whatever price it shows here. So whatever price it shows here, you're buying and selling at that price. The only problem is with a market order, you are paying a fee. So every time you place a market order, you have to pay a slight fee to place that order. So if I wanted to market short, like 2,000, so 2,000 US dollars. If I wanted to short that, you have to pay a fee. I believe the fee is 0.0075% or something like that. It is a small percentage, but it is a fee. You are paying to place a market order. So with limit orders, when you place a limit order, you actually get paid to place the limit order. So again, this is a very small percentage. I believe it is 0.0025%. So you get paid that percentage to place a limit order. So limit orders are always better. If you can, always try to place a limit order, because even though it's a small percentage, you are getting paid, so you are not losing money just to place that order. So the way to place a trade, this will automatically be on cross. You just hit whatever price that you want to place your order at. So let's say we want to short, and we want to short 20,000, and we want to short 2,000 US dollars. What that means is once the buy bid price, so once this price hits 20,000, we will be shorting at that price. So when you're placing your limit orders, you always want to make sure post only is selected. And what that means is if this is selected, you will get paid that small percentage that I was talking about. If this is not selected, you will not be. So yeah, you always want to make sure post only is selected every time you place a limit order. And then so let's say we're shorting 20,000, we're shorting $2,000 at 20,000 price point. You're gonna hit sell/short. A confirmation screen is gonna pop up. It's gonna tell you the order price that you set, the order value in Bitcoin, is going to tell you your available balance. So whatever balance you have at that time. Um, Total position size, negative 200. It's negative because you're shorting. I mean, negative 2000. And then here it says the estimated liquidation price. This is really what we're going to focus on when you place your orders, the estimated lick price. So here, my estimated liquidation price is $999,999 US dollars. That is because the order I put in here is for 2,000. My account has more than 2,000. So therefore, the liquidation price is going to be very high. It is going to be so far away from price that it is almost impossible to hit that. What liquidation price? What liquidation price is it's a price at which if if the price of Bitcoin on Bybit hits that price, your account balance will go to zero. So you'll lose your money that's in the account if Bybit's price goes to this number. This number right here, 999,999, is pretty much not going to get hit. Maybe not ever, probably not ever to get hit. That is very, 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 very unlikely to get hit. If you place an order size that is less than the amount that you have in your account, the lick price will always be very high like this. And that is what we're going to focus on. So I'm going to hit confirm here. Oh, so the order timed out, so I have to place it again. Just go sell/short, confirm. Don't take too long to hit confirm because it's not going to go through. And then on this little box right here on the bottom of the screen, this is where you can check your orders. So right now my order is under active orders. You can see here it is red because it's a short. It says negative 2,000 because it's a short. It tells me the order price I put it in. I can edit both the quantity. So if I wanted to, I can put in less quantity. So I can make this whatever number I want. And I can also edit the order price. So right now it's at 20,000. I can change that to 19,000, 18,000, whatever it may be. And then yeah, that's it. Basically, once you get filled, it'll be in the positions. It'll be under positions. It won't be under active anymore. It'll be under positions. So once price hits 20,000, my order will get filled, and this will show up under positions, and it'll show your lick price and everything. So let's actually cancel this for now, and let's actually place an order for $1 at, let's say, 19,194. Oh, okay, price just jumped. So 19, let's just chase price. So boom, I placed my order. My order got immediately filled. So now I'm in a short. So it went from active to positions. So now I'm in a short for $1 at 19,201, and it tells me my lick price right here. So if the price of Bitcoin on Bybit hits this value, which is pretty much never gonna happen, or I mean, hopefully it happens, but very, very, very unlikely it happens. If it hits this, my account balance will go to zero. And yeah, that's about it. It tells your unrealized P&L. So if this is green, that means you're in the money and you are actually making profits. It'll tell you how much profit you're making live. And if it's red, that means you're losing money. So here, oh man, we're losing money. because it's red. It doesn't really matter. It's $1. You're not really gonna lose money on $1. It's like nothing. And yeah, that's it. And you can close this position either through a limit or a market. If you hit limit, it'll automatically place a limit order right below price or at whatever value you want. And if you choose market, it'll automatically close that position. So I just click market and I just confirm that. So I marketed out of my position. Now, what that did is I now paid a fee because I marketed out instead of limiting. Okay, so now we're going to talk about hedging and what exactly that is and how to hedge. So I think this website explains it pretty well. Um, you can pause the video and read this if you would like. Okay, so hedging is basically it works in a way where no matter where Bitcoin goes, your USD net worth or your Canadian net worth does not budge even 1 cent if you're 100% hedged. So it's pretty simple, and you just calculate the price of your account at a certain price, and you hedge how much you want. So let's say I own a total of 0.4 Bitcoin and I want to get hedged right here. So I calculate this by taking 0.4 and I take the current price of Bitcoin and multiply them. So 0.4 times 19,212. So this is my total net worth in USD, my total Bitcoin net worth in USD. So my net worth is 7,684.8. And in order to hedge, you basically place a short order or a sell order for your total net worth if you want to get 100% hedged, that is. And so at that point, if Bitcoin drops, then your coins lose value, but you gain coins from your short. And the correlation between the profit on the short and the loss on Bitcoin losing value is 1-to-1. So even though Bitcoin dropped, your net worth didn't move at all. It didn't budge. You are still worth, and you still have 7,684.8 US dollars. How that works is in that you'll make profit in that short, so you'll own more than 0.4 Bitcoin because price of Bitcoin went down, but the value of that Bitcoin that you now own went down. But because you now have more Bitcoin, you still own $7,684. And if it goes up, and if the price of Bitcoin goes up, you lose, you take a loss on the short, so you now have less Bitcoin, but the value of that Bitcoin just went up. And since the correlation is 1-to-1, I still have $7,684. So if I hedged right here at spot, at the current price the Bitcoin is trading at on Bybit, then regardless of if Bitcoin goes to 30K or 5K, I still have 684. So now the great part about hedging is that if you're in a 100% hedge, you can just sit on that and collect funding, if funding is positive, of course. So let's say funding is positive, and for the most part, funding is going to be positive. If it's negative, then obviously you probably don't want to be 100% hedged. But so let's say funding is positive. All you do is you sit in a 100% hedge. All you can do is you can sit in a 100% hedge, which means no matter which way price goes, you still have the same amount of money, and you just collect funding every 8 hours. So let's say I hedge my total value. So let's say I have like 0.4 Bitcoin. Right. I have 7,684. I short that amount. I would collect this percentage of that amount every 8 hours. So let's calculate that. So 0.01% of 7,684 every 8 hours. In order to calculate that, you take the funding percentage, whatever this percentage is, divide it by 100, and multiply it by the amount that you are shorting, if this is positive again. So 0.01. So we take 0.01, divide that by 100, and then we multiply this by, it was 76, 86, I believe. So 7686, and you would collect this much in 8 hours. Obviously, it's pretty low. This is 0.7 US dollars, 0.7686 US dollars, but you collect this 3 times a day. So times 3. So you would collect $2 a day. And then yearly, so you just multiply that by 365, you would collect $840 a year by just having 100% by being 100% hedged and just sitting on your ass. You would collect this much if funding stays 0.01%, which is considered neutral. 0.01% is considered neutral, but obviously anything above 0 is positive still. But yeah, that's just how it works. If it's 0.01%, we consider that neutral. For the most part, funding is going to be either 0.01% or positive, more positive than that for the most part. So yeah, you just collect this much. If funding gets more positive and it gets to like 0.02%, then yeah, you do collect more money. So what this number represents is if funding stays 0.01% for the whole year, this is how much you would collect by just sitting there 100% hedged. And yeah, it's that simple. Okay, so now let's get into how to place your hedge orders and how to actually hedge your coins. So again, let's use the example that I own 0.4 Bitcoin. If I wanted to get in at this price point, 19,245, I would simply multiply the total amount of Bitcoin that I own by the current price if I wanted to hedge at the current price. So 19,245 is the current price on Bybit. 76.98. So I would short. Now, if I wanted to get in at this exact price, I would have to market order. Um, so I would market order 76.98. A simpler way to do this, if you have all your Bitcoin on Bybit, all the Bitcoin that you own, if all of it's on Bybit, I can simply go to click isolated, click 1x, hit confirm here, and this is on market order, by the way, and then just hit 100%. It'll automatically put in the total amount of Bitcoin that you have, so you wouldn't have to calculate this. Just hit 100%, and then sell/short, and it would automatically it'll automatically have an order at whatever price it's trading at in the total amount of Bitcoin that you own. But that's only if you have 100% of your Bitcoin on Bybit in your account. Um, Another way to do this, if you don't want to get in at the current price, you could place a limit order. So let's say, and the great thing is you can even get in, you can place a limit order even $1 above price. So it is, which you're very likely to get, which you're pretty likely to get. So let's say I wanted to hedge, um, let's say I wanted to hedge at 20,000. What I would simply do is calculate the total amount of coins that I own. So let's say 0.4 times 20,000. So $8,000. If once Bitcoin gets to 20,000, I will have $8,000. I simply place an order for, my apologies, $8,000 at 20,000 order price. Make sure post only is selected, and I would hit sell/short. And that's, so basically once I hit that, it'll tell me my lick price, which is obviously quite high, because this is very close to the amount that I have in my account right now. And yeah, I mean, the great thing, so that's basically how you place your orders on Bybit, for hedging. And this is if you want to get 100% hedged. If you wanted to get less hedged, then you simply take a percentage. So let's say I wanted to get 75% hedged. I would simply multiply the total amount of Bitcoin that I have by 75%, so times 0.75, and so 0.3 Bitcoin. So you would have to hedge 0.3 Bitcoin to be 75% hedged. So let's say I wanted to be 75% hedged at 20,000. You take the 0.3 times 20,000, and instead of 8,000, I would place a short order for 6,000 at 20,000. So I would simply go here, 6,000 at 20,000. What this means is that you basically think that price is going to continue further up. If you think price is going to go down, you get 100% hedged basically. If you believe that price is going to go up, you get hedged for less than 100%. So what this means, if I'm going 75% hedged, what this means is that I believe price is going to go up. So therefore, I'm gonna place a short order for less than 100%. And the less, the lower the percentage, the more you're gonna make if price actually goes up. Um, and yeah, that's basically how that works. So again, you think price is gonna go down? Simple, get 100% hedged. So you can lock in your Bitcoin value, or your total net worth, I mean. Uh, so then if when Bitcoin does go down, you don't actually lose money. And then the other way, if you think the price of Bitcoin is going to go up, you just get hedged for less than 100%. And that percentage is whatever percentage you want to do is up to you, depending on how much risk you're willing to take. The closer the percentage is to 100, the less risky it is. The closer it is to zero, the more risky it is. And the great thing about hedging is that you don't need to have all your coins on Bybit. So you can have 10% of your coins on Bybit and you can still hedge 100% of your coins. So I can still hedge my 8,000 at 20K even though I may have like 0.04 Bitcoin only on my Bybit. I can keep the rest of my Bitcoin in my BRD and still hedge this amount. The only issue then is if I do that, my liquidation price will be closer to the current trading price. But a simple workaround for this is you, as price gets closer to your liquidation price, you simply just send money to your Bybit. You send more and more money to your Bybit as price gets closer and closer to your liquidation price. So you always want to keep an eye on your liquidation price. Make sure that doesn't get hit, and the closer price gets to your liquidation price, the more you add. And the more you add, the further away your liquidation price will actually get. So yeah, just make sure you watch that. Make sure the price of Bitcoin does not hit your liquidation price pretty much no matter what, because then you will lose all your money that you have on Bybit. So in this case, let's say I have 0.04 Bitcoin on my Bybit, but in total I have 0.4 Bitcoin. So I have 0.04 on my Bybit, but in total I own 0.4 Bitcoin. So I simply put 0.04 into my Bybit. The rest of it I keep in cold storage, or like in my BRD, so that's secure. So then what I do is I still do the same thing. I still short the same amount. So I take my 0.4 and let's say I want to short, you still take your total amount of Bitcoin that you own, the total amount, not just the amount that's in your Bybit, but every Bitcoin that you own. So 0.4 times, and then let's say I want to hedge it at 20K. So you still short 8,000 even though I only have 0.04 in my account. And of course, you're probably not going to be, you probably don't want to have to watch the Bitcoin price and your liquidation price like 24/7, 7 days a week. So I'm going to show you how to set alarms later on in the video towards the end. How to set, so I'll show you how to set alarms so that you'll get notifications on your phone when the price of Bitcoin gets near your liquidation price. So once those alarms hit, that means that price got close to your liquidation price. So what you want to do is send more Bitcoin to your account. So then you don't get liquidated and your liquidation price does not get hit. Okay, and now I'm going to show you how to do all this on Femex if you choose to trade on Femex. So obviously you want to make your account, hit register, same thing as Bybit, enter an email, enter your password, and then your referral code goes here. Once that's done, if it sends you an email, it tells you to put in an email code, you put in the email code, it tells you confirm your email. Whatever it tells you to do, you do that. It's probably going to send a confirmation link to your email. You click that link and then you're registered. Once that's done, just go to login and then you enter your details. Now, once you're logged in, obviously you want to do the same thing. You want to bind your Google two-factor authentication. So what you do here is you click bind 2FA. Once you log in, you'll come to the screen. Click bind 2FA. Here's the QR code. Do the same thing. Go to your Google Authenticator app on your phone. Open it up. Hit the plus sign on the bottom right. Here, I'm just going to scan the QR code. And that's it. Scanned. It's on there. Now you just enter the code that you see on your phone for that account. And then also what Femex does is it's going to send you an email verification code. You get that from your email. You have 60 seconds to do that. Enter it here. Now, once that's done, and you put your email code in, it's going to ask you to log back in. Here, you can see right here, it says, I modified my Google two-step authentication. You're going to log back in, and it's going to ask you for your Google authentication when you log in this time. Okay, so now once that's done, you go through the same thing as Bybit. You want to deposit into the account. And so the way to do that is you just go right here, deposit. You're gonna deposit Bitcoin, say continue. And then this is the address. This is the deposit address. Same thing as Bybit. Take this code, put it in the deposit address box from wherever you're sending it from. So if you're doing it on BRD, go into your BRD app, open Bitcoin, hit send, and beside to, you put in this address. You put in this address wherever it asks you to put deposit address in. And then the way to withdraw, on the left side here, you'll see withdraw, and it's the same thing. You're going to choose the withdrawal address, hit add withdraw. Again, top right, you hit add withdrawal address, and then you put in the deposit address of wherever you're sending this Bitcoin to. If you're sending it to BRD again, you go to BRD, open Bitcoin, hit receive, and it'll give you the deposit address. You put it in here, and then you name it whatever you want. It's very similar to Bybit. It's the same thing basically. Once that's done, you hit back, and then you choose it from this drop down list. You put the amount that you want to withdraw, and then you hit withdraw. There's the same fee as Bybit, 0.0005, and you hit withdraw. Now, it'll probably send an email confirmation. It might ask for Google 2FA. Whatever it asks you to do, you simply follow whatever it says. If it asks you to put Google 2FA, open your phone, go to Google Authenticator, and enter the 6 digits that it says. If it says that it's sending an email to confirm, go to email, click the link to confirm, or enter whatever code it says to confirm, and that's it. And then here, once you make that withdrawal, your withdrawal history will show up right here, and you'll be able to cancel it within a certain time limit if you made a mistake. Always, always, always double check, triple check your with that the addresses you put in are 100% correct. You do not want to make that mistake and lose the Bitcoin, lose any of your Bitcoin. Another way to access the withdraw and deposit pages is you just go up here. Besides your email, you're going to see assets, hover over it, and you can see deposit and withdraw. So then once your account is funded, you're going to go over here to markets. You're going to click that. You're going to click contract, and then you're going to go to the BTC option and click buy/sell. And you're going to come to a page that looks similar to the Bybit trading page. This is where you place your orders, and this is where you can place your hedge orders and look at funding and such. So it's pretty similar to Bybit. The trading stuff, the orders, you place your orders over here. There's a limit option, the market option. The fees, I'm pretty sure are the same. So you still pay a fee to place a market order, and you get paid a small percentage to place a limit order. That's what that box is for. And everything's still the same. The limit price USD, so this is where you place the price that you want to buy or sell Bitcoin at, that you want to place your short/long or buy/sell orders in. So like you want to do like 20K. So once the price of Bitcoin on Femex hits 20K, you're going to be filled for that order. And then quantity, you just click on quantity and you can enter whatever quantity you want. So like 8,000, whatever. Make sure post only is selected, and then you want to short or long depending on which one you want to do. Down here is where we can see the funding rate. This is pretty important. Right here you can see the funding rate right now currently is 0.01%, and this will be paid in 6 hours and 30 minutes. So in 6 hours and 30 minutes, if you're in a short position because this is positive, you will get paid 0.01% of whatever quantity you put in here. And then this is the predicted rate. So in 14 hours, I'll be paid this rate right here. And that's how that works. And this box right here, you're not gonna worry about this stuff or this stuff below. It's just gonna be this box right here, and this box right here, pretty much. So here you can see your active orders. So once you place an order here, it'll go to active orders, and you'll be able to monitor that until it gets filled. Once it gets filled and you are in the position, it will go to open positions. And then here, once you are in a trade and once you are in a position, it'll show up here. You'll be able to see your lick price right below here, and you want to make sure, obviously, again, your lick price does not get hit. As price gets closer to your lick price, again, just deposit more coins onto your account. Okay, so now that we have the respective app for whichever exchange you're going to be using downloaded, so here I have Bybit and Femex. So we're going to start with Bybit and how to set alerts on Bybit. Going to go ahead and open up the Bybit app. So you can see I'm logged in. For your account, you're going to have to log in for the first time. So once you're logged in, on the bottom you're going to see home, chart, alerts, and assets. You're going to go ahead and click alerts and hit the plus sign. And the reason we're setting these alerts, by the way, is so that we don't get liquidated. And these alerts are really just to notify us when price gets close to our liquidation point so that we can deposit more coins into our account. That's what these are really for. You can set them if you want, just so you can see when price hits a certain price point. You can really do whatever with these, but the main purpose um is really just so if you don't have all your coins in your account and you have some of them in cold storage, then you don't want to get liquidated, and that is a big reason to have these alerts. So on the top here, once you hit the plus sign, you're gonna name your alert. So just name it whatever you want, and then the the choose contract, you're gonna do BTC USD, candle frequency 30 minutes, tracking variable is going to be price, and then trigger, you're gonna put if your alarm is gonna be for a price that is above the current price point, then you're gonna hit crossing up. And then, but if it's below our current price point, we're gonna hit crossing down. And basically what that means is every time price crosses up above our price, or above our alarm price. So if I set our alarm price at 25,000, so yeah, let's say I set it at 25,000 USD. Once every time price crosses up above 25,000, you'll get a notification. That's what that means. Um, and yeah, so you hit create. So I want to create the price you want to put it at. You want it to be in between your liquidation price and the current price it's trading at. So you want to go look at your liquidation price. Your liquidation price should always be like $5,000 like away from the current price. Oh, pretty much that's the safer that is more safe. So I want to set an alarm like $1,000 away from my liquidation price because you want to kind of adjust for the time you have to wait um for like to send your bitcoins, because every time you deposit bitcoin into your account, it takes like 30 minutes to an hour or maybe like a day depending on what speed you choose and where you send it from. There is a delay when you send bitcoin, and bitcoin is very volatile, so it could jump up $500 in a matter of like 1 hour. um So you want to set your alarm to be like $1,000 away, like $2,000 away from your like $1,000 to $2,000 away from your liquidation price. So once that price gets hit, you just deposit more coins so you don't get liquidated. So let's say I'm in a hedge and my liquidation price is 20 like 28,000, right? So if price hits 28,000, I get liquidated. I have no more money in that account. So I'm gonna place my alarm for 25,000, and so therefore it is going to notify me when the Bitcoin price on Bybit hits 25,000. I'm gonna go ahead and hit create, and boom, your alarm is set. When price hits 25,000, you'll be notified. You can set another one, same thing, put in the name it something else. I'm gonna hit crossing up again, and then I'm gonna place this one at 26,000. So maybe it hits 25,000. I don't want to deposit when it's at 25,000 because that is still far away from my liquidation price. My liquidation price is 28,000. So I'm gonna set an alarm for 26,000. I'm gonna create that alarm. That one's also set. So now I have you now you can set multiple alarms. You can set I believe however many you want. I don't think there's a limit to the amount of alarms you can set. And so you can just set a bunch of alarms. So as price goes up and gets closer to your liquidation price, you just keep adding more and more. You just deposit more and more coins. And yeah, that's it. That's pretty much how you set alarms for Bybit. Okay, so now we're gonna do Femex. So now you're gonna open up your Femex app once it's downloaded, and you're gonna go to, once you're logged in, you're gonna have to log in again on your Femex account. Once you're logged in, you're gonna go to the home page on the bottom left, click home, and then you're gonna see deposits, rebate, alerts, and support. You're gonna click alerts, and this is pretty simple. Here, the default is BTC/USDT. You're gonna go ahead and click contract instead of spot. You're gonna click on the BTC/USDT, click contract, and then click BTC. It should be the first one. Now you're gonna set your alert for Femex now. So the current price that Femex is trading at is 19,198.5. You're gonna set an alert uh for it, the same thing as Bybit. So the closer price gets to your liquidation, the more you want to add. So we're gonna place an alert in between our liquidation price and the current trading price. And I'm just gonna keep setting alerts so that I get notified as price keeps going up. So let's say again my liquidation price is 28,000. I'm gonna set an alert for 25,000. Go ahead and click last price here, and then click add. This is much simpler than the Bybit app. Just a couple buttons. And now I want to set multiple alarms. I'm gonna set another one for 26,000. Click add. And now I have um I have an alarm at 25,000 and an alarm at 26,000. And that's it. And you just add more and more alarms closer to liquidation, and then just deposit more coins as you get the alarms and as price gets closer to your liquidation price.